After the event, he approached Brian Tracy, thanked him for his talk, and then shared his story. He said, "Brian, I'm 35 years old and I own 3 companies. One builds airplanes, one sells airplanes, and one leases airplanes. And I've never worked a day in my life." Now, why did he share this with Brian Tracy? He shared this because during Brian Tracy's talk, in many of his content, his videos, his books, audios, he talks about what it is that we did when we were 8 years old and enjoyed doing is a good indicator as to what we would be doing in the future, because we're not concerned about what other people think. We're not concerned about what the income it generates. So what is that for you? What is it when you were 8 years old you really enjoyed doing? So in this case, this person that bought, or he sold airplanes, he leased airplanes and built airplanes, designed them. When he was 8 years old, he liked to build model airplanes. And from that point, the rest is history. He says he's never worked a day in his life, which I think everybody looks to find that passion. When I think about that for myself, I remember that when I had started in the e-commerce space, worked in there 18 years, and I remember in the beginning I was so excited and so passionate about the work that I was a maniac. I'd get in there like 6:30 in the morning. It was a really fun environment, worked with some amazing people, and woke up, instantly got out of bed. It was easy. It was absolutely easy. It was totally effortless, and it didn't even seem like work, because had I not been there, that's what I was already studying. I was going to seminars, different events about online marketing, and it didn't seem like work. I enjoyed it that much, and enjoyed it all through those 18 years, because I was always learning, was passionate about what we were working on and the projects and the amazingly brilliant people that I got to work with. So think about that. What was it you did when you were 8 years old and it was inspiring and fun? It didn't seem like work. And how does that translate to today? Now, the other reason I share this is when I was reflecting on that, after being 18 years in e-commerce, being part of some layoffs, really reflecting on things. And when I was 8, I loved to draw. I had a nice drafting table. I would draw. I remember once I had a cousin needed a poster for a church, and he got the most over-the-top poster. It was absolutely ridiculous. It looked like it had a wooden frame. I had all this detail in it, where all they probably needed was a simple sign, but I was passionate about it and really enjoyed doing it. I really loved drawing. At the time, it was all the Air Jordan shoes were out, and I made these Air Jordans and made the detailed lines in there to show the stitching, and it really just made the images pop, and Magic Johnson and all these things, and would just do this for countless hours. I would just lose track of time. Then fast forward to high school, I must have been probably a freshman, and everybody's saying you need to take all these certain courses, you need to focus on what you're going to do for college and getting into college, and really dismiss the creative art interest that I had. And then one day in an art class, sitting right next to a friend, Harvey, and seeing the amazing quality of this guy's work as an artist, and I quit. I looked at that, heard all those voices, you need to focus on college and focus on all these different classes and requirements you need to take. And then I saw that amazing artwork, and I thought, wow, those are the people that get paid to do that. Eventually he went on to fulfill his passion and follow art and get into become an amazing tattoo artist. And it quit. It put me out of business before I even started, seeing how amazing that his artwork was. Now, later I didn't realize that art can be in different formats. Had no idea about graphic design and all these things that would be down the road, and being able to do that work on a computer where it's not freehand drawing. So there could have possibly been an opportunity going that route, but just started to look at other career type jobs or what you're supposed to pursue and those kind of things, getting into college and finding things after that. But during this whole layoff piece, I reflected on that. I thought, wow, okay, it wasn't that I'm going to get back to drawing. In a more broader sense, it was being creative, having ideas and bringing things to life. So think about that. What it is that you did when you were younger that you really enjoyed, that you would do it whether you were paid or not. Imagine a lot of times in that creative space. And then over the years, I found myself in marketing, which can be creative as well, and gets a lot more into data and Excel sheets and numbers. Now there's creative people in that space as well, working in the SEO space. A lot of it could be technical, really creative solutions to big site-wide issues that we had. Not so much the creativeness of creating a video or a thumbnail or in that more artistic visual type expression. So that's what brought me to this YouTube path and learning about YouTube and creating content and videos and getting it all figured out. So think about that for yourself. That might be something that maybe there's something that you just haven't reflected back on, and see what it is that really gets you excited. And then as you open one door and more open and things start to take off. A lot of times I think it's that creative side. I think as just humans, we naturally are creators and innovators and bring things from our imagination to real life. Maybe it's YouTube, maybe it's something else, but think about that. Wanted to share that story that Brian Tracy had shared in one of his audio programs, and that just always stuck with me. I think that just the imagery of this person being in their 30s, never working a day in their life, all their businesses revolved around aviation, and what did they focus on that got them excited as a kid? There you go, aviation. Have an amazing day. Find what it is that gets you excited and what you did when you were younger, and revisit that. Find out how you can get started. All right, have an amazing day. Thanks for being here, and we'll talk soon.